We've got bombshell updates regarding Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Now we have Trump saying that he's directing his Department of Justice to release new information that has yet to be seen publicly. I mean, what are we waiting for? Dump it on us, old Donnie. So it's going to be a pretty wild Friday for you. We've got that, and then we've also got this bombshell Wall Street Journal article that came out. Trump's White House tried to get the article killed. They aired it anyway. Now he's already planning on suing the hell out of Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Wall Street Journal and Fox News. So very interesting stuff going on. He denies that he wrote this letter to Epstein, but now we've also got a report, stick around for this, that his defense is being blown up in his face as fans and folks are already coming to the defense of this alleged letter. So again, more craziness to get into. We're going to start right now here. Donald Trump truthed this. He said, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now. Now, mind you, the Wall Street Journal is not a left-leaning news organization or a newspaper, not at all. So this idea that this is perpetuated by the Democrats, this simply is not true. Now, the Democrats in the House of Representatives and the Senate have tried to introduce bills and votes and discussions over Epstein, and House Republicans and Senate Republicans have literally all voted in lockstep for the most part. Some voted on behalf of the Democrats, but for the majority, they said, nope, we don't want to share any of this. So they're standing by Trump here, but it's only getting more interesting. And I don't know why, if there was anything that Trump had to release earlier, I don't know why they haven't already done so.
President Trump has been facing intense pressure from his MAGA base to release more information related to Jeffrey Epstein. And while he's resisted it so far and called it a hoax pushed by Democrats, he seems to have bowed to that pressure, at least in part tonight. He announced that he has directed his Attorney General Pam Bondi to release any and all grand jury testimony subject to court approval related to this. And he cited the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein as a reason for doing so. This is the first time we've seen the administration move to release more information, as they've been facing a growing backlash from Republicans on Capitol Hill, from MAGA influencers on the right as well. And the question now is what exactly is going to be released as part of this, and whether or not it's enough for that MAGA base that's been so outraged.
Yeah, that's the real key here, right? Is they need to feed this monster, this Frankenstein that they built, but not give so much information that might implicate them or any of these, private billionaires or whatever. So there are sources that are coming out saying that Epstein had literally 4,000 transactions that crossed over $1.4 billion that exchanged in and out of his own bank accounts. Follow that money. Where did that money lead to? This is information we absolutely should know. Now, no lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, great progressive channel, posted, the White House is reportedly working to kill a potentially explosive story from the Wall Street Journal related to Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is personally calling them to try to prevent it from being published. It didn't work. They published the dang story. Here it is. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him body letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Now, I'll be honest. I don't even think this is a big deal. This was like billed for hours as this big bombshell story they've got coming. I just don't see it as a big deal. We already knew that Trump and Epstein were friends. They had a falling out some 15 years ago. Now, if this was for Epstein's 50th birthday, he died at 66. So this would have fit perfectly in the timeline. The leather-bound book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says the letter is a fake thing. Now, whether it's fake or not, I don't know, but I'll read some excerpts from this article. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is Bawdy. Like others in the album, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Now, I'll be quite honest. This reads so gotcha that it feels fake to me right now, but I can't imagine the Wall Street Journal would run with this if it were fake. And I'll tell you why, because it's not something that's like career ending, considering all the other stuff he's got going on. It's just more evidence that he knew Epstein. We already knew this. In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words." Okay, I don't know. What do I know? Well, now Trump has announced he's suing the Wall Street Journal and his friend Rupert Murdoch after paper claims it obtained the letter Trump allegedly wrote to Epstein. Trump says the letter is fake and vows to sue his ass off. Here's what Trump said. "The Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they will be sued. Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Leavitt and by President Trump that the letter was a fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they are going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. The press has to learn to be truthful and not rely on sources that probably don't even exist." Interesting, sources that probably don't even exist. So they're very careful with their words there. President Trump has already beaten George Stephanopoulos in ABC, 60 Minutes in CBS, and others, and looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. And by the way, you know, ABC, 60 Minutes, they settled those lawsuits. They would have won. This is the problem, not sticking up to tyranny. If you don't stick up to it, this is what happens. He claims victory. I mean, this is ridiculous. It has truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag, and writing defamatory lies like this shows their desperation to remain relevant. If there were any truth at all on the Epstein hoax as it pertains to President Trump, this information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and other radical left lunatics years ago. It certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. This is yet another example of fake news. Now, Trump has won 2 elections, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I find this interesting because, look, he's not wrong that the Wall Street Journal is behind a paywall, right? You have to go on Wall Street Journal and, access the digital, whatever, So, but do I think this is a money grab? I don't think you would post something knowing the president is sue happy unless you have some really good evidence that it's pretty legit. Caroline Leavitt says the Wall Street Journal published a hatchet job article with a fake birthday letter from 2003. It feels like the Steele dossier. So they kind of they call it the Russia hoax. They all speak in the same tongue, right? And then, here we have J.D. Vance, forever bootlicking, says, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter BS. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it." Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? No, I'll be honest. I don't know if it sounds like Trump. I don't think it's a big story either way, but could it have been Trump's assistant putting it together and he signs it? I mean, he's some powerful billionaire. He's got things to do. Is he writing his own birthday letters? So here's what was apparently written on the letter. Voiceover: "There must be more to life than having everything," the note began. Donald said, "Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is." Jeffrey: "Nor will I, since I also know what it is." Donald: "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." Jeffrey: "Yes, we do, come to think of it." Donald: "Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" Jeffrey: "As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you." Trump: "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." I'll be honest, it's so on the nose, it's either real or fake. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. The world, I live in an upside down universe. I don't know what's real and what's not. Here's what the Midas Touch has to say regarding this letter.
Well, that was quick. Donald Trump's defense about the letter that he allegedly wrote to Jeffrey Epstein has already blown up in his face, with people proving him wrong instantly. Let me show you what happened. Denying the Wall Street Journal story, Donald Trump said, "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It is not my language. It is not my words." And then he said, "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else." And he's since made a post saying that he's going to do just that. But immediately after the story published, people rushed to the internet to prove Donald Trump wrong. And it turns out Trump is actually an avid doodler. This Twitter user said, "I know this doesn't matter, but a lady in Ohio solicited doodles from celebrities to auction for charity. And in 2004, she said that Trump was always literally the first to send in his drawings." And you could see a Donald Trump drawing with his signature right here. And here's another. And here's a whole bunch more. Andrew Bates notes that in Donald Trump's 2008 book, Never Give Up, he wrote, "Each year I donate an autographed doodle." And
who knew Trump was a doodler? I had no idea.
And there is the doodle in his book right here. And honestly, I could do this like all day. Here's another post that says, "Notably, this Donald Trump heavy marker-drawn doodle, which sold at auction in 2019, is dated 2004. Epstein's 50th birthday was in 2003. So Trump, proceed with that lawsuit. I think the discovery is going to be very interesting. Spread the word, follow our account.
And that's kind of what it comes down to, right? If Trump does sue the Wall Street Journal and they don't settle, and I don't know why they would, although maybe if you're Rupert Murdoch, you do settle. I have no idea. Do they have spines anymore? All I can say is this. This is the type of stuff that is driving people to YouTube. Oh my gosh. You have ABC, Paramount, all these just giant corporations that are afraid to stand up to the First Amendment when the president starts suing them. And then you've got, people that do stand up, like, what's his name? Stephen Colbert. And then all of a sudden his company axes him. I mean, this is absolutely wild out there. Now, I'll start getting a little worried if Trump starts to come for YouTube and Google and mess with their monetization, because that's what keeps this whole, that's what keeps the lights going on on this show. Now, if you want to support us, you can definitely do it in many ways. Share us with your friends. Hit the subscribe button. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a nice 5-star review. Or you can put some bread in the tip jar. Go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. And you can sign up for our private live streams. We go live daily. Hey, I'm on TikTok now. I'm on TikTok Shop. I'm selling stuff. I'm doing QVC. Whatever I can do to pay for these diapers. I got a baby. So follow me on TikTok at DNeals or Instagram DNeals and the Rush Hour with Dave. All right. That's it for me this morning. We'll be back this afternoon to wrap this week up. It's been a wild one. And why do I feel like this afternoon's podcast is going to have some crazy stuff going in it? As if this wasn't crazy enough. Every single day is a crazy news day. I can understand how exhausting it must be. I'm not trying to sensationalize any of it. I'm just trying to bring you the facts and keep our heads above water. That's all we can hope for. Hope you have a fantastic Friday. Take some victory laps around the office, right? Put some Baileys in the coffee. Don't get anything done and steal that company time. We'll be back this afternoon. I'm Dave, and this is The Rush.